The Missouri Department of Agriculture and University of Missouri Extension present Pesticides and Water Quality, Lawn Care Decisions for Homeowners. Homeowners consider numerous factors in establishing and maintaining their yards and gardens. Ideally, their efforts will result in a healthy lawn using environmentally friendly practices, while keeping in mind that pesticide levels in urban areas can be higher per acre than in agricultural areas. Impact on human and pet health, along with exposure to toxic chemicals, allergens, pollution, and noise are also important concerns. Property aesthetics and maintaining community standards, that is, keeping up with the Joneses, also encourage homeowners to maintain their lawns and gardens. Homeowners should also consider the environmental benefits of healthy lawns, such as the improvement of air and water quality due to the absorption of airborne pollutants and the filtering and absorption of stormwater runoff. Energy conservation. Shade trees help decrease energy use in summer. The physical exercise required to maintain a healthy lawn means personal health benefits as well, including stress reduction and the use of outdoor recreational areas. A healthy lawn contributes significantly to property value, as well as providing an urban habitat for desirable wildlife. Brad Friesenberg is an Extension and Research Associate for the University of Missouri and works to determine best practices for lawn management.
When used properly, lawn and garden pesticides generally do not cause a threat to water quality. Homeowners that use the correct pesticides in the correct quantities can reduce the potential of pesticides getting into various water bodies and causing other environmental issues. Many management practices to improve your lawn are designed to help reduce non-point source pollution. These practices are part of an integrated pest management program that helps reduce the need for lawn pesticides and promote their proper use. These IPM practices include measuring your yard to determine the proper amount of pesticides to apply, mow your lawn greater than 3 inches in height with a sharp mower blade, and maintain good turf density by overseeding bare spots annually. These practices and others will improve the health and quality of your lawn, thereby reducing your dependence on pesticides. Two things we recommend homeowners do is to go ahead and take a soil test of their lawn as well as measure the square footage of their lawn. When taking a soil sample, it requires taking several samples throughout the yard at random. This is just a small sliver of soil, perhaps a ½ inch thick, 3 to 4 inches deep, and try to do this in about 10 or 12 different places at random throughout the backyard and the front yard, and then collect these samples in a plastic bucket, not a metal bucket. A metal bucket can actually contaminate your soil sample with micronutrients. Once your samples are in your plastic bucket, thoroughly mix those together, and then from that you can pull a composite sample of just 1 to 2 cups and place that in your soil testing box. When you take your soil sample to the lab or to your extension office, just request a regular soil test. They will give you a form to fill out, and be sure that you note that this is for a home lawn, and there will be a small fee, and you should get results back in about 5 to 6 working days. Your local extension agent will give you recommendations back on your soil test, but chances are you may see where some nutrients such as phosphorus or potassium may be low, or it could even be sufficient in the medium to high range. You will also get a soil pH. Based on that soil pH, the recommendation may be to add lime or not add lime. The second thing is to go ahead and measure that lawn. Most homeowners really do not know the exact square footage of their lawn area, and it's always important to know that information in order to know how much materials or lawn care products they need to purchase. When we measure a lawn, it's simple just to take length times width in many areas of your lawn, but it's also important to measure playground areas, vegetable garden areas, and subtract those areas from your lawn. One additional thing you can do is measure sidewalks and driveways and subtract that out, and obviously subtract out the dimensions of your home. You can also go a step further and measure some of the tree rings, take a diameter measurement, and subtract that square footage out. And by subtracting out all these additional areas, then you can get a more precise measurement. When measuring a lawn, break the yard out into smaller areas, rectangles, squares, triangles, and then take these measurements and add them up for your total of the lawn area. Mowing is, the most common cultural practice that we perform on our home lawns because it's something that we do on a weekly basis. Some mowing tips that we do recommend to homeowners is with the newer mowers on the market today, most of them come with a bagging unit. However, we do recommend that you remove these bagging units. Some mowing tips that we do recommend to homeowners is to go ahead and raise the mowing height of their mower up to 3 to 4 inches. The reason for this is by mowing taller, you can actually compete better against annual weeds, and just by raising your mower height, we can control annual weeds up to 80%. The taller grass creates a shade effect that reduces weed seed germination and the potential for weeds to establish, which reduces the needs for pesticides. We have a saying, mow tall and let them fall, pertaining to the clippings, because those clippings will put back a couple of nutrients such as nitrogen and potassium back into your lawn. We recommend that homeowners mow frequently enough. We generally want homeowners to follow the 1/3 rule of mowing, meaning that each time you mow your lawn, you should never remove more than 1/3 of the leaf blade at a time. Let this be your guide or rule for frequency of mowing. That way clippings can filter better down into the canopy of your lawn, and you generally do not have clumping or buildup of clippings if you wait too long to mow. The next thing would be to change direction of mowing each time you mow. Changing that direction changes the pattern of the mowing, and it tends to give you a little bit better quality and better looking lawn. And then we always want homeowners to mow when the grass is dry. If you mow when the grass is wet, you tend to get clippings that will clump up together. You tend not to get better distribution of those clippings into the canopy of that lawn. That in turn reduces the thinning of a lawn, which in turn reduces the need for an herbicide. And then the important thing that homeowners must do is to keep their mower blades sharp. A sharp mower blade will reduce your potential for lawn diseases because that leaf tip has the opportunity to heal more quickly. A dull mower blade will shred a leaf blade, where a sharp mower blade will give you a better scissor-like cut on the leaf tip and reduce the possibility of turfgrass diseases infecting that plant. With that, then you can reduce your need for a fungicide. We have always been asked, how often should a homeowner sharpen those blades? And at this point, I basically tell a homeowner to look at the leaf tips of their lawn on occasion. When you look at our sample, you will see that the leaf blade on the left has been cut with a sharp mower blade. The leaf tip has a scissor-like cut at the leaf tip. In comparison to the leaf blade on the right, you will notice that the leaf blade is shredded and brown at the tip, and this does indicate a dull mower blade. And once they start to see the shredding of that leaf blade, then it's time to go ahead and swap out that blade and put on a fresh, sharp blade. Remember these best practices for maintaining a healthy lawn with minimal effort. Map and measure your yard to determine the correct amount of fertilizers and pesticides to use. Have a soil test done and apply fertilizer per recommendations. Mow tall, mow at least 3 to 4 inches high, and never remove more than 1/3 of the grass height when mowing. Remember that taller grass creates a shade effect, which reduces weed seed germination and the need for pesticides. Let the clippings fall. Grass clippings return inexpensive nutrients to the lawn. Overseed bare spots in early spring or early fall to maintain high density in your lawn, reducing the potential for weeds and the need for herbicides. Include native plants that are drought resistant and require little or no fertilization. Apply mulch beneath trees and around flower beds. After applying lawn products, sweep any excess into the lawn, not the street. Use a rain gauge to track rainfall and avoid overwatering. Avoid puddles and runoff when irrigating. Properly calibrate your application equipment to reduce chances of overtreatment. Following these simple guidelines will help provide a good quality lawn, reduce your need for pesticides, and ensure water quality.
By utilizing these best practices for lawn management, we also contribute to the protection of water quality. Keep in mind that different activities may allow pesticides to enter water resources. Different applicators using various products and practices can increase the cumulative amount of pesticides on lawns. Urban areas have more impermeable surface, allowing more water runoff, increasing the chance that pesticides used on lawns, gardens, and around homes become runoff and contaminate water resources. It's extremely important that homeowners become familiar with pesticide labels, not only for healthy lawns, but for the safety of their family as well. Don't be intimidated by the information on the pesticide label. It's extremely important to read this basic information and to understand what you are working with. Be sure to examine these areas of the label. The type of pesticide. The ingredient statement. Signal words. Precautionary statements. Environmental hazards. And the directions for use. Remember, the label is the law, and knowing its contents will put you on the right track for environmental and personal safety. Weather is a major consideration in how well pesticides stay on their intended targets and out of water resources. Follow pesticide label instructions regarding weather restrictions and consider what weather conditions will be before applying pesticides, during the application of pesticides, and 24 to 48 hours after the application. Consider the cumulative effect of pesticide usage. Review the different pesticides being used and how they are applied to determine the cumulative amount of all pesticides on your lawn and how it may affect your health and safety, as well as the effect on water quality. For more information, contact the Missouri Department of Agriculture or your local University of Missouri Extension office. The information presented here has been funded wholly or in part by the United States Environmental Protection Agency under Assistance Agreement BG 9978168 to the Missouri Department of Agriculture. The contents do not necessarily reflect the views and policies of the Environmental Protection Agency, nor does mention of trade names or commercial products constitute endorsement or recommendation for use.